My case study video is crankshaft. A crankshaft is located in all the engines. The purpose of the crankshaft is to convert the reciprocating motion into the rotary motion. In the crankshaft, there are four or six cylinder piston engines are connected with the crankshaft. The connecting rod big end is connected to the crankshaft. At the end of the crankshaft, the flywheel is attached, and also the counterweights are attached in the crankshaft. The purpose of the counterweights are to compensate the motion of the crankshaft. Suppose if the balance between the adjacent pistons are not compromised, the balancing weights will act and support the crankshaft to rotate at a smoother one. This is the use of the counter weights. In the crankshaft, journals are also attached to withstand the loads of the engine parts, and also the bearings will be attached at the crankshaft big end in order to withstand the loads. The crankshaft bearing in heavy vehicles and smaller vehicles also different. In 4 or 6 cylinder engine, crankshaft will be having 6 slots or 4 slots according to the requirements. This is the vertical position of the crankshaft, which is located at the all the engines. When it is seen from above the top, the counterweights we are seeing. The main purpose of the counterweights are to compensate the weight balance between all the cylinders. So when the crankshaft is rotating fastly, the counter weights should balance according to the weight requirements, so that the crankshaft will not deviate from the axis. This is the main purpose. And also the crankshaft is attached in the cylinder block in order to rotate smoothly. And also when the crankshaft manufacturing process is mainly the casting and forging process. The forging process equipment is we are heating the element and up to a particular temperature, and using the hammer we are according to the requirement we are manufacturing the element. It is the forging process. Also in the casting process, the casting process, using the casting method, we are manufacturing the crankshaft. In the picture we are seeing in the picture the number of crank elements is 6 elements are there. So all the 6 pistons are attached here with the help of bearing journals. So if the bearings are worn out, we can easily remove the bearings and we can insert the new bearings, so that no damage to the crankshaft will occur. We should remove the bearings only and attach the new bearings, and we no need to change the crankshaft itself. The crankshaft also is the important component in the automobile to transmit power to the rear wheels. At the end of the crankshaft, the flywheel is attached. The purpose of the flywheel is to store the energy, and it should be sent to the engine rear wheel. At the end of the flywheel, clutch and gearbox are attached, so the power will be transmitted to the rear wheel. So this is the main purpose in my case study. The crankshaft, how will we are avoiding the burnout of the crankshaft. This my case study video is crankshaft. The crankshaft is located in the all the engines. The purpose of the crankshaft is to convert the reciprocating motion into the rotary motion. In the crankshaft there are four or six cylinder piston engines are connected with the crankshaft. The connecting rod big end is connected to the crankshaft. At the end of the crankshaft, the flywheel is attached, and also the counterweights are attached in the crankshaft. The purpose of the counterweights are to compensate the motion of the crankshaft. Suppose if the balance between the adjacent pistons are not compromised, the balancing weights will act and support the crankshaft to rotate at a smoother one. This is the use of the counter weights. In the crankshaft, journals are also attached to withstand the loads of the engine parts, and also the bearings will be attached at the